Are you kidding me? I engage with it. Howard Eskin. I don't think Joel Embiid's top 5 athlete. Well, what's an athlete? First off, is it the most successful players? Is it the people that you're upset about because they didn't win you a championship? That's where I struggle. So Jack and I are going to rank our top 10 athletes in Philly. Mine's going to be based off a combination of size, speed, skill, not always like crazy production based. Because if you want to do production based, right, it's all the MVPs. So I digress, Jack. We're going to go to you first, pal. Who are your top 5 Philadelphia sports athletes?
So we do them top 5 or top 10? Because I have 10. So are we
10.
doing? Okay, so
10
I'll do
too.
my 10. Mine is a combination of like accolades and success in Philly and like their current stature, like their current ability and their points. So like a guy like Brandon Graham, like if he did all the time, like Brandon Graham might be on the list. Brandon Graham's not on the list for me right now. So number 10, I have Hassan Reddick, who probably will be top 5 in this list if he has another year like he did this past year, but only one season in Philadelphia. So like I said, I'm only accounting it into their time in Philadelphia. Number 9, I have James Harden. You're going to mock James Harden, but I think he's going to be back. He's the second best player the Sixers have had in 15, 20 years. You can't name outside of Joel Embiid and maybe Jimmy Butler, but Jimmy Butler only had half a season with the team. He's a 2010 guy who showed up in the playoffs. I like him. They're not going to have a chance now. Celtics got Kristaps Porzingis, but it's whatever. Number 8, I have AJ Brown. Again, kind of the same boat as Hassan Reddick. Just really got good guy. They'll probably rise with this rankings. Only had one season in Philly. 7, I have Kyle Schwarber. I don't know much about Schwarber, but he seems to be hitting home runs really well. He's clutching the playoffs. He's doing really good right now. That's where I have him. 6, I got Zach Wheeler, just because I seen him kind of as the Phillies' top ace, all that sort of stuff. 5, Lane Johnson, best right tackle, probably second or third best tackle in football. Easy answer there. And then 4, I have Embiid. He's the MVP, scoring leader 2 years in a row, second best center in the NBA, top 5 player in the league. As much as he's had his lack of success, he still deserves to be up there. Number 3, I have Jason Kelce. Just a stature of success, one of the best centers in NFL history, just bleeds Philadelphia, but along that, just incredible second level blocker. Everything you say about him as a player. Just as a player, he deserves to be number 3. 2, I have Jalen Hurts. Last year, he ascended just everything about him, Philadelphia, MVP type season. If it wasn't for Mahomes, just everything, Super Bowl appearance. And then 1, I got Bryce Harper, only player here who's made a World Series / championship, won an MVP here, has had success multiple seasons here. That is my top 10.
My question with all this is, and great job, Jack. Appreciate your effort and hard work. But what does this have to do with them being athletes? Like being an athlete is you're different. You're freaky. Like you do stuff that no other people do. That's an athlete. Not, well, he's coming. We're going to give him one more year in Philly. What does it have to do with him being a current athlete right now? That's where the media gets a hold of you, Jackie. Silly season. Like, what does Joel Embiid not having success? He just got the MVP. The guy's a freak of absolute nature. Shoot threes, dunks, dribbles. He's maybe one of the best athletes walking the planet. And people don't even have him on their list. So I'm going to digress, Jack, and I'm going to go through mine. I'm talking the combination of size, speed, skill. This isn't, well, he had this many sacks, and he's a hardworking guy, and he bleeds this. And no, athlete. It says the top 5 athletes, top 10 athletes. What's the criteria? My favorite athlete in Philadelphia sports history, Jason Kelce. Hall of Famer, legendary speeches. The guy's the GOAT. Absolute GOAT. But he's not on my top 10 athletes Philly list. He's not. Is he still a great athlete? Unbelievable athlete. But we're going 4, 5, 6 sports teams in Philly. So my top 10 athletes in Philadelphia right now. Number 10, Carter Hart. Absolute freak of nature in net. Extremely nimble and gifted. And for being an undersized goalie in this world today, if he's on a really good team, the guy's like an MVP type candidate. It's really hard to be a great goalie on a bad team. Number 9, Tyrese Maxey. The guy's got explosiveness. He can dunk. He can take people off the dribble. He shoots threes. He has tenacity. A great, great athlete. Number 8, JT Realmuto, stud quarterback in high school, stud catcher in the MLB, hits, runs, guns people out at second, does everything. Again, that's an athlete. A.J. Brown, number 7, freak of nature, big, strong, fast, crazy balance, crazy physical, been doing it for a really long time. Number 6, Lane Johnson, freak of nature, former quarterback, tight end, tackle, never gets beat, never loses. Arms literally can tie his shoes standing up. He's so gifted athletically, the way he runs and moves and bounds, and so strong. Freak. Number 5, played against him in college, played against him in the NFL, played against him in practice and games in the NFL, Hassan Reddick. This is the defensive back, folks, that turned defensive end. That's the type of athletic ability that Hassan Reddick has: running, strength, power, balance, moves, explosiveness, mental capacity to play the game at a high level, football-wise, plays with a ton of energy too. Number 4, you can honestly make him probably number 1, but he's not going to be, is Jordan Mailata. Has anybody ever seen him play rugby? Oh my gosh. 6'8", 380? And the guy is just bounding around the field and just stiff-arming these poor people from Australia. I mean, this guy is an absolute monster. And he went from never playing football in his life to being one of the best tackles in the NFL as a pro. I mean, that's astronomical to even think about. I'm going to just play another sport, and then when I'm 23, I'm just going to go play at the highest level in a sport I've never played at in my life. Jordan Mailata, freak, great athlete. Number 3, this guy's different. Okay? This guy's different. I am a massive fan. Jalen Hurts. How much he can lift, how far he can throw, how fast he can run, his toughness, his tenacity, his leadership. Again, athletically, off the charts. Freak. And a crazy good competitor. Number 2, you can argue one of the best high school athletes of all time that turned out to just be an absolute stud. MVP, Bryce Harper. The guy's an absolute stud. I mean, he was mashing home runs at 10, and he's on Sports Illustrated when he was 13, and it all worked out for him all the way through. Now, of course, there's bumps in the road. That's natural progression of business, life, health, whatever. So Bryce, to me, is 2. And then number 1, arguably one of the best athletes walking the planet right now, is Joel Embiid. That's why this list is here. Joel is 7+ feet. He can play like a point guard. He can play like a big man. He has amazing versatility. He's a freak of nature. This isn't a list of the most successful athletes in Philly, the people we like the most, the people that win those playoff games for us, those Philly fans. This is a list of the athletes, the top 10 athletes in Philly. So for me, it's Carter Hart, Tyrese Maxey, JT Realmuto, A.J. Brown, Lane Johnson, Hassan Reddick, Jordan Mailata, Jalen Hurts, Bryce Harper, and Joel Embiid. That's my list of the top 10 athletes, period. Size, speed, skill in Philly.
Yeah. So again, I think we took different routes here to kind of talk about. Like I said, mine is I considered, when you say athletes, you did it by the literal definition term of athlete.
Yeah, that's the list.
I did, yeah. But when people say that, you think you don't.
No, that's
your
a
brain
Philly Sports
doesn't
Talk
automatically.
Radio list. That's a Philly Sports Talk Radio list. Well, this guy didn't win the big game. What? What does that to him do being a good athlete?
When you see athletes, you think players. You think of players and you gauge them by their accolades. Nobody's going to say, there's a difference. If you walk, people are, when they hear athletes, they think players. No, as great as Jordan Mailata is, they're not going to say, oh, Jordan Mailata is the 3rd best player in Philadelphia.
He's a freak.
You know what I mean?
We're not talking about best
great,
player.
but I'm just.
Who are the most productive players in Philly? Who are the most beloved players in Philly? That's a whole separate conversation. I love Jason Kelce.
I was gauging mine on the line of productive.
But it's not even, because some of that stuff, production-wise, Jason Kelce should be number 1. Should be number 1 on that list. Production, he's Hall of Famer. And he's literally changed the position. Jason's 280, 275. He's 30 to 40 pounds less than every man out there. He should be on my list, but I didn't even know where to put him. But he's such a freak, and I had to throw a little love for the Flyers in there. But that's my problem with this whole deal. And that's what this hurts me for sports talk radio. It's like, come on, man. Joel Embiid's not the top 5 athlete in Philadelphia right now because he lost the playoff game. If he won like 5 more games in the playoffs, we value him as like a. So it's all good. You're right. Listen, 610-632-09. You could, that'd be perfect. But we're here rating athletes, Jack. Now, most beloved Philly sports people of all time: Utley, Dawkins, Kelsey, Harper. Who else?
Harper,
Eric Lindros. I'm talking about like beloved.
Allen Iverson.
Allen Iverson. Right? That's the list. Who are the most beloved current Philly sports figures right now? Jalen Hurts, Jason Kelsey, Brandon Graham, right? People are still talking about the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. He knocked that ball out. But there's a difference, Jack. Pick the category, clickbait social media. I can't stand it. Can't stand it, Jackie. Can't stand it. As you can tell, fires me up, which is good. This is what a podcast is for.